Hey folks, welcome back to Patriot Ridge Farm. So if you did notice or you hadn't noticed, there's about 3 videos missing from my channel, and I just felt prudent to go ahead and remove those. I didn't get in trouble or anything like that. I just figured I got it off my chest. It's probably best to not have that one out there for any sake of potential repercussions in the future, and not from anybody commenting on it. And not that anything that I posted was disparaging against any one entity. It was just concerns, thoughts, type of thing. Basically all due to a lack of contextual information. So anyway, so those are gone. It's unfortunate too, because the last video that I posted, man, I got a lot of responses from it. I got like almost 2,000 2,000 views, a buttload of comments. I gained, I think, about 10 or 12 subscribers off of that. But I found out that a lot of people out there are pretty heartless and pretty hateful. All right, anyways, so we'll move on from that. Those I just went ahead. I thought, it'd be prudent for me to just go ahead and remove those. That way that kind of content can't be in any way, shape, or form used as a leveraging platform or anything like that against me if something should arise from it. So they're gone, and we'll not discuss that topic any farther. What I am going to discuss is a couple different things. Now, this whole coming season, it's finally starting to warm up, and I know I'm standing out here in bibs, a hoodie, and a toboggan. It's nice and sunny. It's only about 28 degrees. So what I am planning on doing, of course, is a lot of this is going to get used for growing vegetables and all kinds of stuff this year, including what's going to be in the greenhouse. And I want to make use as much of this yard as I possibly can. Now, knowing the health struggles that I've had, and obviously I've reacted to a bunch of food in the past that's caused me some issues and stuff like that. Reacted not as an allergic type reaction, but just as causing inflammation and everything. All right, so here's how we're going to look at it. So if you read the Bible, and this is not the Old Testament. The Old Testament, we're going New Testament type stuff. Jesus says all food is clean. It's not what you take into your mouth that makes you unclean. It's what enters your heart and exits your heart is what makes you unclean. So, and he references foods. We look at the history of the Bible. Bread is always a big staple. Honey is always a staple. Just all of the things that people could grow at that time. There was no, no beginning of time Walmart or Dollar General or anything like that. So looking at those foods and how they were grown in, they weren't using chemical pesticides or herbicides or anything like that. There was some farmers and some people who were kind of crossbreeding some vegetation and some plants and stuff like that, and some vegetables and stuff to get higher yields and everything. Of course, it's what they lived on. Like I said, they couldn't call DoorDash and have their Walmart delivery sent to them. But I was looking at a lot of this stuff, and as I'm moving forward through the program that I'm on for my health and everything like that, there's got to be a point once you heal your body from everything that we're putting in it. And you guys know as well as I do, like you buy bread in a store, it ain't bread. Most of the food that you buy in a store isn't real food. It's got so many fake and chemical type ingredients and stuff in it that it's just not good for you. And that causes damage over the long term. And that's what I've come to realize, because there's no rhyme or reason other than that kind of stuff as to what's causing the chronic health problems that we see today. That lifestyle, you add lifestyle into a very poor diet of fake ultra processed type foods and everything, and that's what you're going to see. You're going to end up with a bunch of problems. Now this area yard right here behind me, which is between my outbuilding and my greenhouse, the lower portion of that's going to be used for squash and melons and things like that. And I want to be able to eat what I grow. I want to be able in the future to come out here, pick a melon, eat it. I want to come out here and pick tomatoes and whatever else and be able to eat it and not worry about developing more and more insulin resistance. That doesn't mean I'm going to live on melons the whole summer or anything like that. But I also want to be able to eat bread again. Now, there's a huge argument out there, and a lot of people take this stance that says that, you know, the animals and stuff that we eat, they have defense mechanisms. They can run faster than you can. They're typically bigger than you are. That's why we have to use tools and weapons and stuff like that to harvest our animals that we eat. But then they've come up with this anti-nutrient type of chemical defense that plants have because they can't fight back, you know, physically or with teeth or claws or running, that they have chemical defenses. And that may be true. That absolutely may be true. But prepared properly, you should be able to inactivate those chemicals. And then you start taking like all your garden veggies and stuff like that have been multiple times hybridized and, you know, bred to be this disease resistant, that pest resistant, and everything else. You're probably going to get some funky chemicals in there that never existed in those kind of plants and vegetables to begin with. But I think if we stick with more heirloom, now heirloom is better than modern stuff because a lot of those heirloom seeds and vegetables and plants and fruits are typically more resistant to, you know, the diseases and the pests and stuff like that. And they tend to grow in poorer soil conditions. You don't have to like spread a bunch of whole, you know, all the chemical fertilizers and stuff like that to get them to grow. But anyways, without delving into that, like I said, there's going to have to be a whole lot more literature out there that's pretty much unquestionable, that's going to convince me that what we can grow at home is not going to be healthy for us, is going to cause us problems. Now, this area behind me, down to about just right above that, where that hay bale's sitting right there, so just about there forward, that's going to be my squash and my melons. Everything from there back to the tree line and up to the level of the outbuilding here, I think I'm going to try to grow some wheat. And I'll tell you why I'm going to do that. I'm looking at the ancient grain wheats that's non-hybridized. It's organic. It's not irradiated. And you could take these seeds and plant them and grow wheat. Now, from my reading and stuff, it tells me that by a 100 square foot area, 10 foot by 10 foot, you could expect reasonably to harvest anywhere from 5 to 12 pounds of grain. Now, if I'm growing on my own soil from a traditional ancient blend or ancient breed of wheat that I'm not using chemicals on, I'm not using pesticides on, and I'm growing it here on the land that I live on, then I can harvest that, dry it, thresh it, keep the grain or the germ and the keep the germ and the bran intact, and dry it and mill it here. Get a little, you know, grain mill and mill my own flour here. And to, you know, make that even a little better, I can make sourdough and, you know, bake my bread with that. And it shouldn't be as harmful to me, or it may be even like not harmful at all. And I need to do a little bit more deeper research on that. But if I could take an area here that's, say, 20, 30 feet by 60 feet, I should be able to grow wheat there. I should be able to harvest wheat, mill my own wheat berries with the bran and the germ intact, and make real traditional type of bread. But I don't want to do anything prematurely until I know I'm healed, my gut is healed, you know, that I repair the damage that's been done over the years. Because the lifestyle and the professions and stuff that I've worked pretty much my whole life, you don't eat as healthy as you should. We definitely don't take care of ourselves like we should. So I've got a lot of years of damage to heal from. But, you know, my kids, they still eat bread. And I'm not going to take bread away from them, but I also try to get more or less refined, less processed products for them. And if we can grow our own wheat, that gives them that much more connection. Hey, Daddy, we're growing bread. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And I don't want my kids stuck in front of a freaking PlayStation. I don't want my kids, you know, on a tablet all day. I want my kids to learn this kind of stuff and be able to do this. And, you know, I can say, hey, we're going to grow bread. We're going to grow melons. We're going to grow strawberries. We're going to grow tomatoes and peppers and onions and green beans and all the good stuff. And that's what we've tried to instill in them, but we've never talked about growing wheat. And I really want to do that. So I think that's something I'm going to do this year. I might come up here and just do a very light till That's kind of a slope right there, obviously, as you can tell from where the building sets down to the greenhouse. And like I said, this lower edge right here is going to be where my squash and melons are going to go. And I might just till up the first 2-3 inches of the soil and bring a bunch of that topsoil that I have down at the bottom of the hill and just kind of spread over top of it and grow right there. And I mean, that small of an area, I can come out here with a scythe and just cut it down and bundle it like they used to. And when you bundle it and let it dry and everything, then you can thresh it and harvest the wheat and everything from it, rather than what we see today, that everything is bleached and fortified and God knows what else is put into it. So that might be a neat little experiment to do this year. Try to grow some wheat. And I think I'm going to do that because, like I said, I want to make as much use of my farm here and as much use of my typical mowing area that I can. And less mowing means more time for me to focus on everything else. So figuring out, of course, what we're going to end up with the first harvest, even if it's successful, even at 5 pounds of harvest from 100 square foot area, you know, if you take up to 300, 400 square feet, you can expect up to 20 pounds and so on. You can add it. It just depends on what your yield's going to produce each time. So, you know, you can figure it out and you know, you can expand, you can keep it where it's at depending on what your yield is, and, you know, move on from there if you want to grow more. And I think that would be something that would be really awesome to be able to offer in the future, is, and not something where you would have to get like a daggone combine and you know, do acres upon acres upon acres of wheat. Though I think you could probably do pretty good in this state because you're providing that's not readily available around here. And I don't know of a farm or a farm store in this state that sells locally grown, ancient grain, non-hybridized, organic type wheat berries or excuse me, milled wheat. So that, you know, that's something to even consider. And like I said, we don't even know what we're going to get into with growth rate, you know, germination rate and yield weight until we actually try it. But I would like to be able to get myself healthy enough and healed enough to where I can get back to eating those kind of foods and everything. Because like I said, I mean, but regardless of your beliefs, I know where mine stand. And, you know, if all foods are clean to us and shouldn't harm us and shouldn't cause sickness, then we should grow it how it was supposed to be grown in the beginning. Those are just my thoughts on it. Anyways, it's how I rationalize things. But you may be somebody who doesn't believe in any of that kind of stuff. Hey, that's completely up to you. That's your thing. I'm not here to sway you one way or the other. Those are based on, you know, my beliefs. So yeah, we're going to try that this year. And I think I found a pretty good source. I think it's called, I think it was like Grand Teton Ancient Grains or something like that, somewhere along those lines. And I'll look into that and plan on doing that this year. So a big tight schedule this year, especially with the growing and getting the greenhouse. I ordered my irrigation kit. I ordered my timer to, you know, time my waterings and stuff like that. So they should be here this coming week. And I think maybe by the end of this week or next week, I can go ahead and start laying down my brown cardboard and bringing my soil up and building my beds. And I've changed my mind on the bed widths. I think I'm going to go 30 to 32 inches wide, and I can get, you know, more rows in there. And I'm starting to get wood chips now, that's going to be a big plus. So I can put those down in between the rows and everything like that to walk on and suppress a lot of weed growth in there. But those are just some of the ideas I've been thinking of. Trying to get my mind off of the chaos and everything that ensues. And like I said, that last video with some of those comments on there, wow. And like I said in that, it's no wonder I live on a mountain in rural West Virginia and don't leave if I don't have to. That's kind of where I stand on that. But so we got another pig done yesterday, another 500 pounder. We got, from beginning to end, we were done in 2 hours. Got it to the butcher, and we're planning, we've got 2 of our grow outs left. So 2 of the 8 that we originally raised. And then we've got Peppa will be the last one to do, so there's only 3 pigs left. And of course, weather depending each Saturday, doesn't really matter how cold it is, it's a matter of rain because of the mud and stuff that you have to contend with. We should be done in about 3 weeks here. And by the time that time is up, we finish the last pig, we might be able to start getting some fence built, or at least getting some fence posts in place and everything, and working towards that. In between the time it's going to take me to get all this stuff done here for the greenhouse. So I'm going to try to keep my focus on the farming and everything like that. And I'll try harder this year to try to get more content of me actually doing the stuff and explaining what I'm doing and everything. And I would absolutely love to see more and more people growing gardens this year, even if it's just containers or raised beds. I'd love to see more people growing gardens this year, and you know, maybe starting the wheat and doing that and seeing what we get out of that may spur people to start growing their own bread. There's a thought. How about that? But again, I have to wait until I'm healed. I'm doing fantastic. My energy levels are great. No gut issues at this point. My mind, my brain fog is completely gone. My thinking is linear. It's clear. And I'm more positive, I'm more upbeat. That last video, some people pissed me off there, and I was like, you know what, you don't understand that kind of stuff. But you know, they just have their opinions based on what the mainstream media and social media tells them. But okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Continue to do what I do, and focus a lot more on this. That's my goal, and produce as much as we possibly can here. It's a beautiful sunny day, even though it is cold out here. And let's take a look and see how we're doing with the green compost in the greenhouse. All right, so it's 28 degrees out here and sunny. Let's see what it is in here. I don't have an official. Oh my God, it's like 70 degrees in here. This is great. Wow, I hadn't been in here yet. This is fun. Oh, shoot, I think I'm just gonna close the doors and hang out in here. Man, this is nice. I'm gonna have to start taking layers off here in a minute. All right, what we got going on here? Oh yeah, we're doing good. Like I said, if I can cover all of this inside here with brown cardboard and get my soil and my wood chips down, that puts good fats and stuff in the soil. God, oh my God, it's nice in here. I can't get over that. And I know now there's no literature out there that says that using brown cardboard, even though they've got adhesives in it, everything that I've read says it's benign to the garden. But as long as it's the plain brown, you don't want to go with the white, the collared, or you know, the gloss type of cardboard. And I can always get a bunch of cardboard if I'm not producing it myself here from Amazon and all the other online deliveries. But yeah, that's my plan is to cover all of this in cardboard, and then build my rows, and then put my wood chips down as my walkways and move forward from there. But yeah, it's nice in here, isn't it? Daggone dogs are panting already. Nice. It's little things like this that get me excited, because I swear to God, it's like 70, 74 degrees in here. It's great. Really nice. There could be a couple chairs and bring in here and chill out. The Wi-Fi from the house actually reaches here. I'll bring a TV out. Now I'm seeing little hints of some greener grass in a couple areas. I'm not seeing what everybody calls Easter lilies popping up yet. I can easily go right down the bottom of the hill here and see if they're coming up yet, or you know, even on the back part of our property, because we have some pretty big areas back here that have a lot of them out there. But I'm so looking forward to spring. I'm so excited to get started on this. This is something that is going to feed us. It's going to detract our minds from everything else that's going on, make us more self-sufficient, and guarantee us healthier food. So keep up with us. If you stayed this long, hit that like button, please. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. You never know what I might pop off on here with. I can tell you it won't be anything about work anymore to avoid that kind of stuff. But anyways, thank you guys for following the channel. Appreciate any comments you put on there, any ideas you might have, what your input is. If you can't be nice, don't say it. Get and stay prepared. Stay free. God bless y'all.